A powerful brand story doesn't just get people's attention, it builds trust and loyalty and creates real impact. So if you feel like your brand just isn't clicking, like something's missing, this might just be what you need to turn it around. Storytelling is important when it comes to connecting with your audience, because when you tell a story that feels authentic and lands with your audience and inspires action, your brand will be unforgettable. Your brand narrative is more than just words on your website or inside of your social media captions. It's the heart and soul of your business. It's the story you tell about who you are, what you stand for, and why what you do matters. When done right, it becomes the bridge that connects you to your audience. Think about it. People don't just want to buy products and services. They buy stories and beliefs and that feeling like they're part of something bigger. Your narrative is what sets you apart in a crowded market. It gives people a reason to care. It gives people a reason to trust you. And ultimately, it gives people a reason to choose you over the competition. It really lays the foundation for building connections that take your first-time buyers to long-term supporters. Okay, so now that you know exactly why it's so important to have a brand story, let's go over 4 ways that you can set the foundation for building yours. Your story starts with your values, what your brand stands for, why you do what you do. Your values should guide everything in your story. Here's a quick exercise. Write down 3 to 5 values that are at the heart of your brand. Think about what drives you and why it matters to the people you want to serve. For example, your core values might include authenticity. Maybe you value being true to yourself and transparent with your audience. Maybe your value is innovation. You're always seeking new ways to solve problems and serve your clients better. Or maybe it's sustainability, where you prioritize environmentally friendly practices in everything you do. Your brand values are the motivation behind what you do. But what you stand for is really only part of the equation. To craft a story that truly lands with your audience and gets them paying attention, you need to connect those values to the people you're trying to reach. This leads me to step number 2, which is to understand your audience. Great stories resonate because they speak to your audience's experiences and challenges and goals. So how do you know what those are? Well, you've got to ask them. You can use tools like social media polls, client surveys, or even just having a conversation to learn what their concerns are. When you understand their pain points and their dreams, you'll be able to build a story that clicks. Now, every great story has 3 key elements, a framework. 1 is the hero. That's your audience. Make them the star. The story needs to be about them so they can see themselves in it. Number 2 is the guide. This is where you come in. Your brand is the guide, showing how you help them overcome their challenges. And then 3 is the transformation. Highlight the results they achieve by working with you. For example, a nonprofit fighting food insecurity might highlight the story of a family that was transformed by its programs. A career coach might share the story of a recent graduate who landed their dream job after struggling with interviews because of that coach's guidance and strategies. When you share stories like these, this is what sticks with people. When it comes to sharing your story, don't just put it on your about page. I see this happen, but it really needs to be woven into everywhere that you are showing up and sending your message. Your website copy, your social media posts, and your email campaigns, and even when you're talking to people. For example, a personal stylist might put right on their homepage a story about their own personal struggle with confidence that has led them to help others find their personal and unique style. Then on social media, they could share behind the scenes glimpses of their styling process, and then in the caption reflect on their mission to help empower others by finding their own style. In their email campaigns, they might highlight transformation stories about how their clients have gained confidence and self-expression thanks to their services. And during consultations, the stylist could talk about their own journey and how it really fuels their passion for helping others. So you can see that by integrating this story across all different platforms and touch points, the brand becomes more authentic and relatable, building trust and connection. So let me give you some actionable steps now toward writing your own brand story. The first thing is to keep it simple and authentic. I know that it can seem overwhelming to come up with your own brand story, but really you need to not overthink this. The best stories are the real and relatable ones. So use language that is natural to you and to your audience and focus on being real. My second tip is to use visuals to make a great story even better and really bring it to life. So videos, of course, are a great idea, but you can also use images, a series of images or a carousel of images to help tell that story. Even an infographic will help bring it to life. My third tip is to try not to feel pressured to get it perfect the first time. You've got to try and test and refine and see what's actually working for your business and what's not. You can run different social media posts with different messaging to see what people are responding to. Are they commenting more on one story or this piece of this story? Pay attention to these things. They'll give you real insights and help you to refine your approach. And finally, if you have a team, make sure everyone knows the story inside and out and is using it at all touch points. You want your brand to be showing up consistently everywhere so that you have a strong and unified presence. Now, earlier I mentioned how important it is to know exactly who your audience is first, their needs, their desires, their challenges, so that you can create a brand story that lands with them. Without that absolute clarity on who your audience is, your ideal client, who you're speaking to, you can have a great brand story, but it might completely miss the mark. This is where Client Clarity AI comes in. It's my AI-powered program that's going to take you step by step through defining exactly who your ideal client is in less than 30 minutes. With this clarity, you can craft a brand story that speaks directly to your audience and eliminates all of the guesswork. So head over to dowelldesignstudio.com/client clarity to grab it.